Hello, this is the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys podcast, and you're very welcome to join us today for a special reflective episode as we look back at all the best NSYNC moments of 2024. I'm your host, Sam, and today I'm joined by three of my fellow Space Cowboys, Verena, Tamara, and Maggie. Guys, this has been such a jam-packed year. I've no idea how we're even going to start to review what's happened. How are you feeling?
Yeah,
Good.
good.
It was a great year.
Yes.
Yeah, there was. Do you know, there is such a lot to get through, but this is the best time to do it because the new year is upon us. And obviously, we've just celebrated our 1 year anniversary as a podcast as well.
Yay.
Happy anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary, guys. Where has the time gone? Why is it going so quickly?
I know, it's crazy.
Literally gone so fast this year.
Well, hopefully that means we're just getting closer to a reunion. Maybe.
Yes.
Reunion. What reunion are you
Maybe.
talking about?
I've jumped a few guns there, but you know.
No, positive
Yes.
manifestations are the key here.
Manifest
do you know
every day.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know what? Don't they say like time goes fast when you're having fun? So
Yes.
Yeah, clearly this is what it is. We're having way too much fun.
we're fun and we're stressed and we're wondering what's going on, but it's fun too. We said we want to have a look back at the things that have happened this year, and there is so much to fit in. I don't even know how we're going to get it all in one show, but we're going to try our best. So if you're listening, fear not. We are going to try and make this a snappy run through the year. I've got a list of topics that I wanted to cover, so I'm just going to throw them out there, if that sounds cool, guys.
Yes.
And we can see what we think, and let's enjoy this nice memory of reminiscing. And let's begin by looking at the cancelled one night only.
Oh,
Happy New Year!
I don't want to be reminded of that.
that was
No,
almost
but
a
I
year
thought-
ago. Like,
It was so long ago, but I thought let's get it out the way early
Yeah.
because it was the negative. Well, I say it was a negative thing. It was actually really positive as well for us as a group, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we had fun still, didn't we? We made the most of it.
Yeah, it was the first time most of us got to meet each other. I mean, some of us had met here and there before, but it was like the biggest meetup, for the first time, I think. There's quite a few of us who'd never met before. So
Yeah.
it was a big deal. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, just in having to cancel dampened our spirits a little bit, but I think we
But
had
only
so
for
much-
about a couple hours.
Yeah.
We recovered very quickly.
I really feel like, we kind of got back into our groove pretty quick. It was like, yeah, okay, it's cancelled. What do we do with our time now?
Yeah.
think it
I mean,
It hit us harder once we were all back home again. It was
Yeah.
a bit like, oh shit, we could have had this. And especially then when we
Yeah.
saw, the other shows afterwards, and it's like looking back at Memphis and New York, and it's like, oh, we could have had that, But I think while we were together, it wasn't that hard. I think
No.
no.
the
The bottle
initial
of wine,
Yeah.
and the espresso
sorts everything
martinis
out. Yeah.
did help though, didn't it?
It was, we had so much fun, didn't we?
Yes, for sure.
And the karaoke, that was the best part. We done for those that
Yes.
don't know, we all, because some of us flew into London who didn't live in London, and I had the day off from work, but I kept the day off, and we all met up, didn't we? And we done some sightseeing,
Mhm.
and then we hired a karaoke booth, and we sang NSYNC and Justin songs for over an hour, which was just crazy
I think it was a
insane.
couple of hours, wasn't it? I think we had a
I
couple
think it was almost 2 hours we had.
Was
Yeah.
it? Oh my God. I mean, we must have burnt a lot of calories during those 2 hours because we were non-stop, weren't we?
Screaming and dancing in a tiny room. And how many
Yeah.
of us?
many of us
Like
in there as well. It was
10?
just
How many? I don't even know.
Yeah, we were sweating for sure.
And they didn't have enough option songs, so we kept singing the same thing over and
yeah,
over.
we had to go for a few ones a couple of times.
Had to get
Yeah.
creative.
Well, they had lots of
Yeah.
Justin and quite a few NSYNC. So
True, true.
There was lots of choice, I
JC
guess.
though.
But yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it? We were looking desperately for JC. but
There
no,
was
it
an
wasn't to be. So maybe next time we'll have to put a word in before we go
Yeah.
to warn them.
Next
Next time
time
we-
they will have Playing with Fire.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God, that
oh
would be
gosh.
so good.
Imagine singing, doing
Wow.
I
karaoke.
just picture.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
maybe not.
Oh, we just need to find a place where we can create our own playlist somehow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Exactly. Well, we actually did as well, didn't we? Because after we left the karaoke bar, we went back to Tamara and Dee's hotel room to watch Graham Norton because Justin obviously had recorded that earlier on, a couple of days before or whatever it was. And obviously that was really great. We live streamed that for all the rest of the fans, like in the US and
Yeah.
stuff. And then of course we did have a sing song of Selfish, which we put out.
Which was probably the worst singing that people have ever heard in their lives. It was just, oh my God. Every time I see that now, it's like I'm laughing so much, but the singing was so bad.
It was
Yeah,
bad,
Yeah.
but I
right?
think
Yeah,
everybody
that's good.
supported us. That was
Yeah.
watching us, and
It was
yeah,
so bad, it was good.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it was. And we were joined by the big Justin poster
Oh,
that we'd carried
Yeah.
around London. So it was
it
iconic.
was
Well,
amazing.
And for those who weren't following us there or haven't seen it, it lives on our page, right, on Instagram.
Yeah,
The video of us singing Selfish in the
Yeah.
hotel room, the big poster, and I even think a live from the karaoke. Dare I say it lives on our
Definitely,
page
I
too.
think
yes.
up on there for sure.
Yeah,
So if
we'll
you
have to
scroll
do
back
a
to
highlights for people.
February, yeah, if you scroll back to, is it February, isn't it? It
February.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
You'll,
It
you'll
was.
find it there.
Yeah. T, because obviously you went with D out to the Memphis one night only.
yeah.
Was that this year in 2024?
That
Or
was
was that the end of
January,
last
Yeah.
19th
year?
of
It was
January.
January.
Mm.
It
Oh
was snowing,
gosh.
wasn't it? It was freezing.
It was just ice. There's no snow. It's just ice everywhere.
Mm,
It was very dangerous. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was January, so that's crazy.
my goodness, I can't
And
believe
when
it's
did
coming up for a
Justin
year.
when did Justin change his remember he deleted his Instagram? That was in, I think, was it before Memphis? It must
It
have been.
was, yeah.
It was like the first week of Jan,
I think it was, could it be, was he had
December.
anything before Christmas, maybe?
I don't
No,
remember that.
no, he
I mean, I
I think
remember it, but I don't remember when it was.
it
I
was like
think,
late December, early January.
yeah, he wiped it before January for sure. I just don't remember if he posted anything in between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
when it all started, didn't it? The run
Yeah.
up to everything I thought it was.
it was like super exciting times. We had to guess. I love all the guessing stuff. They post like a blue dot and you have to guess what it is. Like, it's really good. I miss, keep us busy in the winter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sure
exactly.
did.
It did. And then obviously, so we had Memphis, we had cancelled London, and then there was the
New York.
LA.
New York and LA.
Well, yeah, but I guess none of us
Oh.
got to go to New York, did we? Whereas LA, we did have another one of us at, which was really exciting, and that was Verena who got to go out to
Verena.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an experience for you, V.
The best one.
Yeah.
Honestly, what a thing to go for, honestly. I mean, I had a good idea, but still, you don't know until it's actually happening, right?
Mhm.
Like we can all
Yeah.
guess and, believe in all sorts of stuff, but until you're actually inside the venue and the five guys are in front of you, you don't really know whether it's really going to happen. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that
you
was
didn't even know if you were going to get in. You just flew, remember? And none of us
don't
slept.
even,
Most
honestly.
of us stayed up the night to make sure that you were going to get in, and we saw
Yeah, but that
your
was just, I
Johnny's
knew I was going to
live.
get in. It was just because I was an idiot and I didn't take the ticket. There was such a hoo-ha about that ticket, but yeah, in the
No,
end,
because it was meant to be, it
it was
worked out the way it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
exactly,
So.
yeah. Well, you know what I really loved, and I have to keep saying that, like with the fandom, obviously I was the odd one out there having flown over from the UK. Everybody else was, from all over the US. But and you feel a bit odd when you're going from another country and feel like, am I taking their spot or something like that, but the people that were surrounding me, that were in line, everybody was rooting for me so hard.
Yeah.
And you know, even when Johnny came out and had the tickets, you know, there was people saying, "Oh, she came all the way from the UK," whatever. You know, people were rooting for me, and you know, I appreciated that so much. It's like it was such a good kind of indication of what the fandom is like or can be like. You know, that people are really looking out for each other. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that at all, so that was really, really nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the fandom is definitely, you can feel like everybody is such good friends and
Yeah,
look out for each other and help each other.
Yeah. It felt
and
like
then
such a positive vibe from
yeah,
everyone's stories and lives that we were seeing. Like,
it really
you know,
was. I
everyone
mean,
was
that
there.
was like, you know, I mean, seeing the guys together. Well, seeing, you know, having seen Justin on the tour and whatever is always such a great vibe throughout the summer. It was such a great vibe with the other fans. But this was an experience that, for the people that were there, it was a once in a lifetime experience, and it's
Yeah.
you know, unlike the concerts all are individual as well, but this was just a different thing, you know, and it really, having been in the room with all these people, it's like a bonding experience. Yeah, just kind of like coming out the other end, it's like, what did we just experience? Is this real? You know, and it's like, it's such a weird kind of bonding thing, but at the same time, I think it bonded everybody, even the people who weren't there. It's like everybody who's there now for NSYNC, the people that the new fans and the old fans, you know, everybody has experienced them together on stage, whether in person or, you know, on the screen. Like we have
Yeah.
all, I think it's bonded the entire fandom to be able to witness this. So
Yeah. And even though we couldn't be there in person, we saw it happen live.
in time,
You know,
exactly,
yeah,
in real time, exactly,
in real
yeah.
time, exactly. Even though it was what, 4 o'clock in the morning or something. So we were already a bit delirious, but honestly, I think we were all in tears, weren't we, when we saw that
For
curtain
sure.
open?
Yeah. And you know,
Insane.
I think we've all watched it back so many times because obviously the videos are all over social and YouTube. And I feel like the more you watch it, the more you notice things. Like even I think when we were sitting at home, we were pretty certain that the DJ set with Hypes, where Justin plays Gone, was probably going to be the intro. But then you rewatch it and he's obviously dancing towards the center of the stage, ready for that curtain to open. And you know, the part it opens on is obviously Gone is the song, and then it opens on Make It So That You Were Right Here, Right Now, and then it opens, and it's
Oh,
like it's things like that you don't really notice or appreciate at the time, but when you look back, you're
No,
like, they've so cleverly planned the exact moment of this reveal, and when you rewatch
yes,
it, you notice all of that stuff, and obviously the interactions from the guys on stage and the fun they're having, and I think it was great to see some of the old stuff as well as, of course, Paradise be performed as well.
yes.
yeah.
But I love rewatching it back and just seeing those details that perhaps we missed because
Yeah.
we couldn't see
I
the
cry
tears.
every time, honestly.
Do you?
Yeah, every time, you know, if I'm, you know, it appears on social media so many times, but if I'm actually sitting down and watching the performance that I filmed of that, it's like, you know, what, knowing that that's exactly what I saw that night, it's like I'm crying every time. It's like,
Aw.
you know, it's really overwhelming. It's always going to be overwhelming, I think, because now it's almost, I can look back and say I can't even believe I was actually there in that room. So
Yeah. And we got a new NSYNC song on that day, right? That was the first time we
yeah,
heard the
Yes.
Paradise
I know.
snippet. And yeah,
It
when
was
they
the
sung it,
tease, wasn't it?
it
It was
was,
snippet.
Oh my
yeah.
God, yes. Even
Yeah,
that was
that was a good day.
snippet in the afternoon. I was like so adamant I didn't want to hear anything before the show, but I couldn't help it because everybody around me, all the people in line were like listening and crying. It's like I'm gonna have to listen, you know, if everybody else knows what they're, you know, what they've just posted, I need to listen as well. So
Yeah.
it's incredible.
It
That was
was. It was.
good.
And then I guess we got to hear the full track. Was it the next day that everything I thought it was Justin's album came
Yeah.
out? It
Midnight
literally was the
for
next day,
us.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was also just a, first time in, is it 6 years since it last
Yeah.
released?
Yeah,
20,
6 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, was my maths correct?
2018,
Um,
wasn't it?
Mhm.
yeah,
Man of
yeah,
the
so
Woods was
6 years.
2018.
Yeah, there you go. So, I can do maths. And, obviously we got to hear Paradise again, but then this whole story of songs, which I know
Yeah.
there was a lot of debate about whether to listen to it in order or whether, because I think everyone was thinking that it was telling a story from Memphis for track one up to
Yes.
Conditions at the end. And, was that the case? And did you have to listen to it in order? And I think in the end, loads of us jumped to Paradise before we then
I
obviously went
didn't.
back.
I didn't.
Did you not?
I
Oh,
no,
you're very
I done
good.
the whole thing. Although the whole thing was a bit of a blur because again, we hadn't slept the night before, and I was like, it was midnight, and I just put my headphones on, laid in bed, and I was just in floods of tears from Memphis all the way to Condition. I think a lot of it was to do with just lack of sleep, though, more than anything.
I got to listen to it a little bit after you because I was still in LA, but we
Yes.
got to listen to it at 9 p.m. So yeah, we listened to it from beginning to end. Like we started with Memphis and we didn't skip to Paradise. And yeah, it was quite a story he's telling there in that album. So yeah.
And I fell in love with it from the
Love
first
every
time.
song. Yeah.
There was no, I know I always said that Sanctified. We've heard that before anyway, before the album had dropped, hadn't we?
That's right.
Well, parts of it anyway. And I was always like, I'm not sure about that one. But actually
Yeah.
listening to the whole album from beginning to end, I was like, there is no skippable tracks here for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just
From
going
the
to say,
first listen, I was hooked.
I have favorites on the album, but
Mhm.
none of them are skippable. I always listen to it from beginning to end. I mean, I don't like Alexa plays me whatever I ask her to play sometimes, but generally I listen to the album from beginning to end
Yeah.
and then
same.
start from the beginning again. It's like it's on repeat. That album is like there's nothing I can skip. What would you possibly skip on the album?
I skip one.
What do you skip?
Liar.
Yes.
Really?
I knew you were going to say that.
No. What?
I mean,
just
not that
feel
it's
like
not good. It's great, but it's just
I
not.
forget about it because it's not on tour and it's not one a lot of people like play or you hear a lot on social. I kind of forget about it, but then when it comes on, I'm like, oh yeah, I love this song.
It's good. I can't listen to the whole thing all the time. I
Okay.
do listen like to the beginning, and then I'm like, I had enough. Like, I
Yeah.
can't.
We all love the album, the whole album, but if we have to pick our least favorite, yours is Liar, Tamara.
Yeah, I'll say so.
What about you, Maggie?
I don't even have one.
Let's have one.
Sam, name the songs.
I need to. I've just picked up the CD so we can have a look. So we've got Memphis, Fucking Up the Disco, No Angels, Play, Technicolor, Drown, Liar, Infinity Sex, Love and War, Sanctified, My Favorite Drug, Flame, Imagination, What Lovers Do, Selfish, Alone, Paradise, and Conditions.
None.
Liar.
I would say.
Probably Liar for me as well. Yes.
Yeah, do you know what? I would probably pick Liar as well.
Yeah. I say, remember before I would say Sanctified because I used to skip Sanctified sometimes, but
Oh,
since
no, can you?
since I've seen it live, I cannot. I can't skip.
But
that
even
one.
just on when he was on what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, yeah.
Saturday Night Live. That's where he did Sanctified. I mean,
Oh, he was, yeah.
that was
That
just that
was so
performance.
good.
That was amazing.
So flipping good. I actually watched it today. I watched that, and I watched all those performances he did just before of Jimmy Kimmel and
I really
Saturday
wish
Night Live.
Toby Nwigwe came out on tour.
I
Because
know.
he was
Surprise
great.
guest.
He
That
was
would
in
be
LA.
so good.
Yeah,
He
he
was,
was, yeah.
He
Oh,
was in
yeah.
LA. Yeah.
oh yeah, you got two performances. You got Coco Jones
Yeah.
Coco
as well,
Jones,
didn't
yeah.
you? That was a surprise.
You know what? It's like no shade to the rest of the show, but I loved the entire show and it was incredible. And I feel a little bit bad that you kind of block out the entire show because NSYNC turned up, right? So it's kind of like now when I go back and see like the stuff that Justin actually did, everything that came before NSYNC came, it's like, oh my God, this was so good. But once they came
It's
on,
a blur.
Overshadowed.
But yeah, him singing with Coco Jones was just, oh my God, his voice is just, oh.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yes.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on the album? If we've done our least favorite.
Oh, favorite is hard though.
Yeah, I know you have to pick
Favorite
one,
is hard, but I'm
something bad's gonna happen.
I keep saying I said this from the start. I mean, Paradise is a favorite, but I just don't feel it's that much part of Justin's album. I always still look at it as a standalone song. Conditions is still one of my favorite, and No Angels, I think. I love No
Yeah,
Angels.
No Angels is, I'm trying to think here if I had to pick one to listen over and over again. I think No Angels.
Mhm.
I'd go Flame.
Yeah, Flame, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, not for me. No Angels and Selfish as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
Drown.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I
like
love
Drown a
Drown.
lot. I like
Sanctified.
Drown more than Selfish.
Drown was my number one listened to song on Spotify, but I think that's because it came out before the One Night Only, London One
Yeah,
Night
It
Only.
was,
it was
yeah.
the single.
Right. So I think I just listened to it on repeat for the whole day because I wanted to learn the words
Yeah.
for the One Night Only. And I think that's the only reason, because I'm sure I don't listen to it more than any of the other songs on the album, but I'm pretty sure that's what made it the top spot, just for the 2 days that I listened to it.
Really hard to say, because I mean, I love No Angels because I love one of the reasons I love it's a great song, but I also love the video so much. So I
Yeah.
visualize it when I'm listening to it. I love Selfish because again, I love the video so much, but I also love his vulnerability his voice in that song. It's so tender the way he sings it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
whole
also
album.
I really love Favorite Drug.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, me
when I
too.
hear it live, it's so fun.
Do you know what? When I hear Favorite Drug now, I see him dance. I see
Yes.
his
Doing the
routine. You know, that little flippy hand that he does on the
Yeah.
side, and you know all that kind of stuff. The
It,
routine is insane. There is
yeah.
so much to it.
I always think of New York because he sampled it in New York. Do you remember? And
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it
he was
was.
standing up at the barrier, and I think Hypes just played it on like
Yeah, it was.
and he Justin was like saying to the crowd like, come on, because remember there was quite a few people standing. I think it was so cramped in there as well. And he was like, come on guys, don't you be standing around. And it always just reminds me of that time. I'm like, how can you stand around to
I
this
know.
song?
No one could move, but everybody was kind of
Yes,
like, it was,
sardines.
yeah. I'll say, yeah, no angels for me and my favorite drug.
Yeah, it is hard to
No
pick. There are
angel.
so
Yeah.
many, so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
all good.
you end up listening to the whole thing anyway. So it ultimately doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. They're all fantastic. Since we're talking about Justin, I kind of think we should go on to talk about his tour as well, because it's obviously
Might
Yeah.
as well.
seeing it live just gave it a whole new dimension. And we went to various different cities across Europe. Of course, that included the 4 nights in the UK, Birmingham, Manchester, and 2 in London,
Yeah.
as well. And I think it was just the best experience in terms of the show he put on, what a showman, and then also I think again another opportunity for us to experience things together.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I
definitely
think
came and conquered. We
yeah,
dominated.
we did. Tamara,
Yes.
you went first, didn't you, to a show before he was in the UK?
I, Antwerp, yeah, I went to
Antwerp.
Antwerp.
Yeah. And we was all really jealous that you were there. We were
Mhm.
like, at least
And
we
he
still had
played with
our
no
show.
jacket.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Very sweaty
Remember.
though. I was like dodging the sweat.
Oh yeah, I think the Hershey show was the first time we saw t-shirt, and then when he came over to Europe, it was so warm here
It was,
that
yeah.
we got the t-shirt quite a few times, didn't we?
But the Antwerp place is very old building. They had no aircon in there either.
Oh
So
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody was melting. It was awful.
Yeah. Our shows were okay, weren't they? I think Manchester was it Manchester or
Yeah.
Birmingham was pretty warm. I can't remember. Um,
Manchester was warm. I think Birmingham was okay. It's the newer one. Oh no, the other way around. The
yeah,
co-op
yeah,
was better. Yeah.
yeah. And we had our fan meetups. That was so good.
Yeah, it was
It
so
was
nice to
good.
meet everyone because we've been talking to them all online or seeing them online as well, not necessarily talking to everyone. And it was so nice to put, I don't know, faces to names, wasn't it? And share
Yeah.
and like to meet them. But then even like this sounds really stupid, but to like be in the arenas with like 20,000 or 10,000 people, whichever one it was, and them all be there for the same reason. And it was like just being surrounded by like-minded people who were there for a good time. There was a few corporates who maybe weren't so into it, but the vast majority were all just absolutely going for it. And again, 6 years or whatever it had been, just desperate for Justin, and it was so nice just to be with them, and like you say, to make friends as well, and to team up with people, and to have
Mhm.
different experiences, and obviously you guys had some fantastic experiences at the shows.
Yeah.
Flame jump girls and
Yeah.
signs and selfies, and I I can't even remember what else
Imagination
happened.
dance.
Imagination dance.
He literally clocked us all the time now. It's just
Yeah, and VIP upgrades and meeting Dante, and Tennessee
hanging out with the
Kids.
Tennessee kids.
Yeah. I mean, can you even pick what was your favorite moment of the tour? Do you almost have to
You're
separate it
talking to
between
the Flame
what happens
Girls.
to, well, I know, but as I wondered, do you need to like separate it from like what's your favorite moment that happened to you, and then
Yeah.
what's your kind of objective favorite moment of the shows?
Yeah.
I have to say, controversial here. Flame is not my favorite.
That is controversial to admit that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, not saying it's not amazing. It's like one of the best things ever. But for me, I feel like
I'm gonna guess what your favorite is.
And me, I'm gonna guess as well.
I'm
okay,
gonna
guys.
guess when you got your pick from Justin.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
Guitar pick.
say.
Yeah, I
yes.
get that though.
It's
That
just
was
like
my favorite.
it was not planned. Like flying is not planned, but it's kind of planned. We prepare
Mm.
for it.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know, we try our best. We scream. We tell everyone, "I want to jump here."
yeah,
You know, it's kind of like this whole preparation you do weeks before, months before, right?
yeah.
And my favorite moment had to be the pick because I lost hope by that time because all the cute kids stealing all the pics.
Yes.
I was just like,
Yeah,
whatever.
I think in your case as well, because every show picks up being handed out, but I think the way you got your pick was
Yeah.
like
Nice.
It was
just a little bit
special.
on another level because it
Yeah.
wasn't just like him walking past you, there you go, here's my pick, like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really, I
I
get
was like
that
in the corner, hiding in the corner at the back, and
now.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this up, and then I put it up because I get so embarrassed. I'm just holding aside, so I'm kind of like hiding behind it.
Yeah,
And
that
then,
Oh,
was
I'm
good.
so glad you got that. I think because that was Leon night too. So me and Verena and a couple of other girls were at the front. We didn't go back to B stage with you.
yeah.
So we could kind of see it on the screen, and I could see it, and I was
Yeah,
like, but it didn't show you, but it showed him kind of going back, picking up a pick, and then handing it to someone. So we were just like, oh my God, that
Hope
was
it's
Smiley
tomorrow.
that got it. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, the funny thing is we have to tell the story. We left the venue and we were mingling outside for a while because Dante was there and we were taking photos with him. And it was quite dark and they were chucking everyone out the arena. And then Tamara's like, oh my
I
God, I
lost it.
lost the pick. She's like, I lost the pick. And we were like,
What?
what do you mean you lost it? So she's like, I put it in my purse and I can't find it. And we were literally all like scouring this pitch black floor.
I
It was
need
so,
first as well,
I
and
had
it
like
was
my
in
phone
there.
torch out. Anyway, she didn't lose it anyway.
No, but you saw me taking everything out, and I was like, it's not in here.
I
Oh
know.
my God,
No, it was
imagine. That's
nice.
We
awful.
got
Well, I'm
so
glad you found
panicked.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite embarrassing as well because obviously he was like looking at me and like having a conversation. I don't know how he was doing, like a conversation singing,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "What the hell? Like, what's going
Because wasn't
on?"
he saying, hang on, weren't you just down the front?
Yeah, so he
And
was
now
kind of
you're
like
here
this,
again.
like,
Yeah.
and then I was like this, and he was like, "Oh, what is it?" And I was like, "The guitar pick." And then he looks at the
He's like, I
mic stand
got
because
you.
obviously he's not playing with it. So
Yeah.
he looks and he was like, "Oh, okay, I got you." And then he goes back and then he looks again. He's like, "Is that the last one on the list?"
Oh, that's so
I was
cute.
like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay."
And
Yeah.
lucky he remembered because he could have finished the song and then not remembered to give it to
No,
you.
I know. Imagine I would be like, "Oh, okay." And I just
Yeah.
remember when he did finish the song and the lights go off. And I was like, shit, he's coming. I saw him picking up the pick, and then he literally just skipped everyone. And then, because
Oh.
I wasn't at the front, I was like two people behind other people. So he kind of like reaching to put on my hand. It was really nice. And then he was like, "Was that the last one? We did it." And he was like,
Oh.
he was happier than me. Then like I accomplished the whole list.
He's like, thank God it's over.
Checklist 2.0 is coming back in the summer.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
more does she want from me?
I have to be very creative because, you know,
I know. I've got my show in. What's the date today? I've got it in like
4th of July. Oh no, you're going
16
again.
days. Yeah,
Yes.
16 days. My show,
Oh my
16, 17
God.
days. I know, and
Yes,
I'm just like
gosh.
racking my brains because I'm like, I want
Maggie,
a
you with the
guitar
sign
pick or a
person.
selfie. I know. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to get close enough to the stage at B stage because I kind of want to be close, but then I don't want to have to stand in the same spot all night. I
Yeah.
kind of want to be free to move around. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to play it by ear. Not going to put any pressure on it and just see what happens. Go
He will
prepared with a
see it. He
sign and then
sees it.
exactly.
He will see
Yeah,
it. He always sees it. Like I was never like in his face, and he always like found it. Your signs as well. He read like 3 of your signs or whatever,
two of my signs.
but it was like
Yeah,
straight away.
Is she naughty?
yeah, that was a naughty sign. I
He
know.
And we
looks
had
for the naughty
signs
signs.
for Tennessee Kids, and we had sign for Ravon and Camry and Blakely, and he will
Yeah,
read it. We will just put it up for fun in the middle of whatever song, and he will read it and call the guy. So yeah, he will see it.
yeah, it's
See,
cute.
me and Sophie in France, we didn't even have signs. We had it on our t-shirts, and he was reading our t-shirts.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you got
yeah.
interaction in Leon. That was
That was
amazing.
Yeah,
that was the same day. Yeah, that was
yeah,
good.
that's true. Yeah,
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 Leon was really
because we
special,
were
wasn't
like
it?
sticking up
Being the
our boobs
last. I'm sticking out your boobs.
He
Read my
with our
was.
t-shirts.
t-shirt.
You know.
Yeah, you're good that he saw that because there was a lot of people with signs in France, I feel
Yeah,
like. And yeah, but we were directly in front of him, weren't we? We made sure
yeah,
that we we got
Squashed.
that spot.
We were
Squash.
directly squashed in front of
yeah.
him.
In sweat rain range.
And he
Yeah.
mentions V again on he did the speech. And he was like, you know, when he says, oh, people that have been with me for
Oh
Oh yeah,
since the
yeah.
beginning. And then since 1990, what was it?
Seven.
6,
Seven.
7? And then he looked to
Yeah.
the front, like
yeah.
looking for
Oh,
people.
that was so cute. I remember we were in tears, weren't we, when he done that speech? Because
Oh
he
God.
started crying as well in
Oh no.
Leon.
Oh
It was the
yeah.
last show, well, the
Oh
last
God,
European
yeah.
show.
Because we saw it from the front. We were watching his speech, and we were all crying at the front. Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
I cried
at the
too.
back.
And
Yeah.
he's like, stop, you know, I'm a crier.
All his different voices that he does throughout the tour. He's so
So
funny.
good.
And you
Oh,
know, he's kind of like it's a bit like a stand-up comedian, the way he's having to think on
Mhm.
his feet. He's reading out these
yeah.
signs, he's making up different speeches, he's putting on voices. He's just, the way he interacts with everyone. I just thought it was, I think we all said it was so special and that it felt different every night. Even though
Hmm.
some of the things might be the same, like that people who ask them selfies and stuff every night, it always felt different that what he
Yeah.
was saying to people. And I love that he gave
Yeah.
people his time
Yeah.
and made them feel special.
When
That's
he
one of
done,
the
oh, my
things.
pearls. Remember he
Oh
done,
my,
oh, my
oh my
pearls.
pearls! He did that to your son.
Yeah,
That
and
was
and bless
funny.
him, didn't he responded well when in Manchester the bra got thrown onto the stage
Oh,
and he
yeah.
even incorporated it into his song.
Yes,
He came
he
back
did.
running because he threw it, and then he was like, "Better have it." And he was like, "Shit!" Picked up
Gonna
again
have
and
you
then threw
naked by the
it.
end of this song.
Mhm.
And for the record, that wasn't any of us.
No,
No,
No, it
no, it
wasn't.
wasn't.
It did fly over mine and Tamara's head, but it wasn't
it
our us.
was not us. No, no.
If you listen back, I can't remember whether it was either our podcast recapping on the tour or if it was on our live. But if you listen back to both of those or one of those, you'll find out who it was because it wasn't us, but we know who it was. So
Yeah,
No way.
go back and
yeah.
listen.
Did I
Oh, I
miss?
can't
Oh,
tell you.
Well, you're not
They
in
might
that
tell you.
house.
They won't go back and listen. I can't tell you.
Well, I'm gonna have to listen.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Exactly.
listen.
Just go back and
Sorry, we're
listen.
not going to spoil it here now.
Exactly.
Was it
Maggie, what was
fake?
your favorite moment given all of those
my
experiences?
my favorite moment. I mean, I probably will say Flame because
Yeah.
I think the build up to it, you guys know in the group chat how far in advance I was planning this. And I think even the
Hmm.
first time, remember Justin shared from a rehearsal, didn't he? The flame jump. We
Yeah.
Yes.
didn't we didn't exactly know what it meant, but you could tell that he was jumping towards potentially someone in the audience. And then obviously we saw it in Vancouver for the first show. And he kind of just rapped a little bit, didn't he, with the person? And then he kind of
Hmm.
got up and rapped the rest of it standing up. And then as the shows went on, and then I done the rap, kind of, I don't know what you call those things. like rap along video
Yeah.
on Instagram, like, and we kind of basically told everyone like we have to learn this rap. Like if he's gonna rap with you, then let's rap with him. So then there was quite a big build up to it, wasn't there? So then to
Yes, for
finally get
sure.
that moment, and I think my story is quite different because I didn't buy a bar stool. I couldn't afford to buy a bar stool. So I kind of was just, you know, crossing my fingers and manifesting that somehow I would get the jump. And I think there was a few other stories of people in the US that had got the jump who didn't have bar stools. One way or another, they managed to get a seat in a good position. So I knew that it could happen, but obviously it wasn't a given, and it never is.
Yeah.
And I think just a lot of stars aligned that day for it to happen. Because I knew there was 2 bar stools free in Manchester, and was like hoping that Johnny might upgrade me, seeing me in my outfit, and he didn't. He saw my outfit and he just like walked by. He was like, Johnny. And I was just really shy. Like I should have been like, hey, like, oh, I'm really hoping for the jump tonight, but I don't have a bar stool. But I just didn't. I just was like mute. I was just like, hi. So anyway, another couple got the bar stool upgrade from Johnny, but because they'd seen me in my outfit, the husband kindly gave me his seat for the jump, which was so kind. So then it meant me and his wife, shout out to Kelly and
Yeah.
Morgan as well, was standing next to us. So it
Oh.
kind of was like a little group one. So yeah, I was so appreciative of the guys who kind of helped me make that happen. And yeah, everyone was so supportive. It was amazing. So yeah, I would say that one. But yeah, all of it. And I think just being with you guys and meeting the other fans,
Yeah.
honestly, people keep saying, why do you keep going back to shows? Like you've already seen it once. And I'm like, but it's not, it's the community that you're with. It's not just, it's like when you go to a club, right? People go to the same bar or club every week, but it's because you're seeing different people
Yeah.
and meeting different people every time.
Yeah.
It's a new experience. And that's what I kind of compare it to when I try to justify
That's very good. Yeah,
the
that's a good
amount
way
of
to explain.
constant. Yeah.
Because we don't
So,
go just to watch Justin perform the same thing. We kind of paying attention to other things, meeting new people.
yeah.
We kind of feel part of the tour, don't we? So
Yeah.
Yeah. And everywhere you sit in the arena and experience it, it is a different show.
yeah.
Like you don't ever, and obviously when Justin performs, it's not always exactly the same. He does little things that are different. So you notice these things the more shows you go to and the more videos you watch. So yeah, I think every show you go to is just as special, and every interaction, every fan meet up is, yeah, I just love the whole thing. Definitely hooked.
Same. And I gotta say, it doesn't feel, although we win the like arena, it feels like an intimate show, doesn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's because we're at the front.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
If you're in the nosebleeds, I don't think you'll
But
get
like
the
you,
same.
I feel like that we totally forget like the whole
Yeah,
world around you. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like,
yeah, you're just like tunnel visioned.
yeah,
Excuse the
for
pun.
sure.
Yeah.
Pun
Yeah,
unintended.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
I
so
But yeah,
think,
no,
good.
they were great. Can't wait for the summer ones, actually. I'm
yeah.
quite excited. I hate
Yeah,
festivals, but I'm excited to experience that.
yeah.
Exactly.
And
And he's
actually,
he's
on
mixing it up a bit, isn't he? So it'll be interesting to see how the set list
Yeah.
changes
yeah,
and
on
dancers aren't
Marty's
coming
live,
over.
yeah, Marty's live, he was saying that it would be quite different with the
Don't
way.
say that out the live, yeah.
No, the
Sorry.
live. Sorry, yeah, on
It's
Marty's
like,
live, not on our show.
yeah.
On on Mar.
But don't say that either.
All right, we won't
Rewind.
say it. Okay, we won't say it. Cut that bit. Take 2.
Yeah, it's going to be really different. They're going to mix it up and they're going to have different set list and no dancers coming over.
No.
Yeah, I can't wait for
Through
those
it.
shows.
So Andrew's going to be on stage with him.
Yeah, so they got
Yeah.
he mentioned the tiny desk kind of
Vibe.
as a vibe clue. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, it's
He's
Oh,
gonna be
probably
so
gonna
tiny
be
good.
desk.
pressing like all the phone. Dum, dum, dum,
Yeah,
dum.
yeah.
No offense, Andrew, I'm only joking.
Yeah, and also we're gonna get something first before the US, which is nice.
Well, South
Well, they've
America
got
will
South
get it
America,
first.
but yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, North America we're getting something, and I don't think there's any festival dates planned for North America, is there?
No.
Not as yet, anyway.
What are we
No.
getting before the US?
The festival show.
Festivals. festival
but
show.
they're not having any, so
Well, that's what I mean. So we're special. We're
We're
going to get
getting
something.
it.
We're getting them first.
we're getting
something
that.
that they're not
We're
getting.
not getting it before. We're just getting it, and they're not.
Well, we don't know. They might be. I doubt
Yeah.
it, but there could be
No, I
something.
think this is it.
But yeah.
We might
I
get
hope
other
this is
things
it. He
before
needs
the
to have a rest.
US.
Mm.
Oh yeah, we might get something else before the US as well.
Anyways.
Next subject.
Next subject. Well, since we're talking about tours and live shows, I think we weren't there, but it's just worth remembering that Chris has been on Pop 2000 again this year.
I mean, we were there. I
And
was there.
Marina was
But-
there.
that's well, do you know what? Actually, I should have known that because I was about to say, and we had the phone call, and of course we did. You were
Because I was there.
there.
No, he
Go
was
on,
just
tell
sitting in
us
his
all
dressing
about
room,
it.
and he was like, "Oh, let me call this Space Cowboys randomly."
Oh, I got 5 minutes to kill. Let me just
What? He loves
FaceTime them.
the UK. He just thought he'd phone us. That was a great experience. V, obviously, you got kind of called out from Chris jumps off the stage to come and say hello because he obviously recognized you in the crowd from back in the
Aw.
early days. That's got to be a top moment of 2024.
He was.
That was,
I mean,
yeah.
Chris is a person. Chris, he goes all out anyway. For he treats people really, really well, and not especially the people that he knows, but if he does know somebody, if he recognizes somebody, he does go out of his way to make a point of calling you out, and he's done that throughout the years. But he knew I was going to be there, and I knew I was going to see him, but I really did not expect him to jump off the stage and come right into the audience. Obviously I was there with some friends, and it's like, oops, I didn't quite expect this, for him to just
Your face
get
was
off the stage.
priceless. You were just like,
Yeah, it's like, what the hell,
Aw.
yeah, and then literally making a point of saying, this is who that, she's my friend, and she's been there
look,
since
what did he
19.
say that he said about Justin? He's just like, oh, she knows
yeah,
this before Justin hit puberty.
Puberty.
yeah, which isn't quite true because Justin was 16 at the time, so but yeah, it was really, really sweet. But yeah, then afterwards, when Carrie came and she got me into to meet him in his backstage, so we sat for a little bit and had a good chat, and then I thought, hey, how do you feel about calling the girls back home? I mean, he's up for
He
anything.
was like,
isn't he?
really?
I was worried because obviously the time difference was a huge 8-hour time difference, and I was worried that none of you are going to pick up. I mean, I did warn you. I said, I'm going to give it a try. If he's up for it, I'll give you guys a call. But you never know. I couldn't have foreseen how it would turn out.
I don't know if you remember it because this was so funny because you'd said to us obviously that you hoped you might try and get him to call if you could, but no promises. And we didn't know what time if you would. So we were like umming and ahhing. Do we stay up? Do we go to bed? What's the likelihood of the time? Probably after the show. So I think a lot of us, or most of us, then went to bed. And I remember we tried to have we've got all these different group chats for different things. And I remember we kept saying to you, only message in this one if you're going to call. We're going to mute the other one so we can sleep, so it's not pinging and disturbing our partners all night.
Yeah.
And only message in this one. And anyway, I think then in the end, poor Beth fell asleep and didn't actually wake up for the call. When the call came through, Dee had fallen asleep on the sofa, but luckily did wake up. But she's like all sleep crumpled and sleepy. You had Tamara. Am I okay to say? I think you were in the bathroom and had to run out of the bathroom.
I was brushing my
Brushing your
teeth.
teeth.
Yeah.
Brushing your teeth. Maggie, you were in the shower and were therefore in a towel talking to Chris Kirkpatrick.
I literally I was in the shower, but I left my phone on the side so I could see it if it rang.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had just finished my shower, so I was literally just turning it off, and then I saw my phone just vibrating, flashing. I was like, shit! Just got the towel, wrapped it around me. I don't think I washed my hair. I think my hair was just up like this, so that was fine. And then, yeah, that was so funny. And then took the call with a towel.
I didn't warn you.
No,
I
you
just
didn't. You just called.
No, you
And
just
when you
called.
And when you called, I think I was the first person to answer, and I
Mhm.
was in my kitchen. And now let's remember, I was really ill as well, so I got no hardly any
remember you
sleep,
did
and
have
I
that
couldn't
voice.
speak properly. And I was expecting it to be you to begin with, at least on the phone, and it wasn't. It was just Chris. And I think I went, "Hello."
Hello.
I was holding the phone, but I was holding it obviously because I don't know. I just wanted him to be in the picture. So you're not thinking like, if I would have been in the picture, you would have been like, why is she calling in the middle of the night? It's like, no, it's
Oh,
like,
it was funny.
Chris.
That
No,
was
it was
so
good.
funny.
But yeah, we hope one day Chris might come and join us on here so we can talk to him normally and be more put together. Like
Yeah,
you
I
were
think
at 6
Tamara was
a.m.
really good at answering. We were all a bit
Thank
just
goodness.
I
starstruck,
was
weren't we?
just
Like,
like, guys,
Tamara,
pull your shit together.
you
yeah,
saved the
No.
conversation, Tamara. I keep saying
Honestly,
that, like, every time I look at that phone call, it's like, Tamara, thank God for Tamara, you saved that conversation.
you
Because
did
all
because
of you were just like frozen. It's like, oh, Tamara, say something quick.
I was
I
like, so
literally
how are you?
frozen.
How's life?
But it was like a mixture of like we were starstruck because it's Chris. We were tired because we hadn't slept. Then I mean, when I've watched it back, I cringe because you can just hear me in the background going, "Oh, that's really good." I just can't speak, and I'm like, "Why did I even say that? I should have said nothing."
And poor
Oh,
Dee
it's
Oh
funny.
dear. Hopefully, we get the
frozen,
chance to
wasn't
redeem
she?
ourselves.
yeah.
We
I think
will.
also having guests on our podcast has kind of helped us. We've got more experience now, haven't we?
Yeah,
With
Yeah,
for
asking
that
sure.
people
was early
questions.
days. It was early
Yeah.
days.
That
I
was
just thought
early
I
days.
hit you with that.
Yeah, you did. And we've had lovely Mr. Brian McFadden on the show, who obviously does name
Oh,
drop with
Yes.
Chris. So he's hopefully fed back all the positive stories. And in fact, we know he has because we got dinged on name drop
Yes, we
this
did.
year
that
as
was a
Yeah.
good
well.
special moment.
That
That
was
Yeah.
was a
so
great moment of
good.
the year. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
and our
to
little
get a
logo
name drop
came up.
shout out was quite something.
Well, even though my name is always read wrong,
Camera?
love it
Tamara.
like that.
And because he reads my name first and Chris is still talking, you can never really hear my name. And that's only Doug was saying to me the other day, is that he's not saying your name. It's like, yes, he is. Listen to it
Say your
again.
name. Oh, he
You need
did.
to mute Chris. Mute Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Chris,
he did. It
shut
was
up.
nice of
He's
him to
saying
call
my
us all
name.
out, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Shout us
That
all
was
out, not
good.
call
That
us
was
out.
really good.
Yeah.
what was
Well
the
done,
show like?
guys.
What was the show like, Verena? Because we just keep talking about the
Oh, the
Chris
Pop
call, and we
2000.
never
Yeah.
talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
we
was a
never
lot
talk
of
about
fun.
actually the
It's true,
performance.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a lot of fun. The stage, like Chris says in our phone call, it
It's
was really
been
crazy. The stage was
Oh.
spinning around. So at some point, you just saw everybody's back, and then they came around again. It was really, really
it's
strange.
like,
But no, it was a lot of fun. It had the other bands, LFO and O Town and BB Mac were on it, Ryan Cabrera. Yeah, it was a good atmosphere. And obviously my highlight for me was seeing Chris on stage. And one,
Yeah.
because Chris is like, he introduces everybody, but it's only at the end of the show when he really sings with everyone. And
yeah.
Okay.
and to
He's more
see
of the
him
host.
when he was doing pop, that was just incredible.
Oh, he done the little
He did the
dance as
full routine
well.
of pop, and
That was the first time
he
he did
absolutely
pop in
smashed it.
full.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were like, what the hell is happening? How is he doing
Oh,
this? Like,
He's been
so good.
practicing
Like,
all
after
Amazing.
year
so many years,
for
he was
something.
amazing. And all his vocals on point. He does such a great job.
they should bring that show here. It would do so well
Yeah.
over here
Really think
because
they should.
I mean, O Town was big here, LFO was big, BB Mac,
Yeah,
they would be so good.
And they
Macabre
have
is
loads of
everywhere.
like 90s festivals that they could get a pop
Yeah,
2000 in there.
I agree. I
Yeah, or they
really,
could,
really
yeah,
think
they
they
could
would.
get some UK boy band in
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
it
like
and do like a
Five
little
and
Baby
stuff
tour.
like
Mac,
that.
Yeah,
come
Yeah.
on. They do it with Baby
yeah,
Mac.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Some more
So
though.
yeah, we
Let's
want it
get more.
here. We want it here.
We
I am
do.
making my mission next year to see a pop 2000 show.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Let's see
That'd
if
be
they have any
incredible.
more, but I am definitely planning to go over and see Chris at some point next year. So
Yeah. Oh,
Or
whatever.
the
Nice.
orchestra one that he does.
Yeah, I
That
was looking
oh
back. Do you know
yeah.
Oh, the
Philadelphia? Not
symphony
Philadelphia.
one.
Is it Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Where is it?
symphony.
Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass to get to. I
Yeah.
looked at it, the flights are like a grand. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Oh,
you have to take like 2 or 3 flights to
But
get
they
there.
might add more dates. They have 3 dates so far, so maybe they would do because that's
Yeah,
quite interesting. It's like a
yeah,
completely
I'd love
different
to see
take.
it. So.
It's
But
nice.
there's other things that need to get planned and first.
Yeah.
yeah.
True, true.
Oh, and talking of going out and seeing the guys individually in the States, Tamara, you also got to go out and see Joey at
Yeah.
What? The elusive
Oh.
Joey Fatone, who has not also come over here and not bought his and AJ's legendary night tour here. So you
I
went to
know.
see him at Eat to the Beat, right?
Yes,
And
I
it wasn't just
did.
Joey you saw, was it?
No, so that was a surprise appearance by
Mm.
Lent.
Yes.
I was screaming like you need to ask the girls that were with me. I was genuinely shaking. Like I was so starstruck by Lance walking next to me.
Oh
Oh,
my
More than
God.
seeing JT on stage, I was like, it's Lance back. It's Lance back.
oh, because it was a surprise as well. So that makes it even
Yeah.
more special.
And we were right at the kind of the corridor bit that where he came from the back and just walked like right next to me. I was just like,
Oh,
oh, I nearly cried. Like it felt like an 8-year-old. Like, oh.
Mm.
oh,
No, that was really good. Joey is so good. He's such an entertainer. You know,
Yeah.
he came out in like onesies and like a little
of course he
stitch.
did.
And he would just come out with like some crazy stuff. And he had loads of guests as well. The guy that sings para bailar la bamba.
Oh yeah.
Para
Oh, really?
Oh.
yeah.
God, he
Oh,
must
you
be
didn't
old.
know? Yeah. Can't remember his name, but
And
yeah,
obviously Ryan Cabrera in every single
they're
show
like
he was there.
separated at birth. These two guys, they're always together. Like,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
no.
that's amazing.
Seeing
What
Lance and Joey was
what did they sing? What songs did they do?
cool.
Joey and
Lance and
Lance.
Joey.
They sang Space Cowboy and
Oh, cool.
I
they
think
sang
so.
Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way.
Oh, why they
And
sing Backstreet
Oh,
Boys? Come on, they've got enough of their
Oh.
own songs.
and then the last, because it's 2 days of shows and it's 3 shows a day.
Yeah.
So Lance was only on the last 2 shows of the second day. So he came out as a surprise at the end of the second show and then came out again on the end of the
Oh,
third
Oh.
show. But yeah, they sang Bye 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 together and that was quite nice as well. But
that's
yeah, I think
cool.
they only did together Space Cowboys, Bye Bye Bye, and I Want It That Way.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
good. No, it's really nice. It's always nice to see more than one NSYNC
Yeah.
member together, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it makes it
went
more
to
special.
see. I went to see that show a few years ago. Was it
You
2009
did.
something? And that was Chris and Joey at the
You had
time.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tamara, you've actually seen all the NSYNC boys except JC last year because you
I
saw
didn't
Chris
see
in Memphis.
Chris.
Yeah,
No,
in
not Chris.
Memphis.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was
Completely
up
In the
forgot
audience.
about
up.
it.
Yeah, he was up in the royal box.
Oh my god, I waved at him. Yes, I haven't
No,
seen JC.
yeah, obviously Verena saw them all in LA. Um,
Yes.
I've only seen Justin. I'm hoping I
So,
see Lance when I go to
I'm hoping
Anaheim.
for you as well.
Yeah, I really hope he
JC.
goes. Yeah, and because I'm at the B stage, he'll hopefully be in like the
Yeah.
friends and family little box. So
He's
fingers
that
crossed.
would
gorgeous
be
as well.
amazing.
I was just
Yeah, I
like
bet.
I'm hoping
that
that the fandom has made JC feel a little bit like guilty about the fact that he hasn't seen Justin live yet, because
He
people
has to
keep
Oh
bringing
my
it
God,
up,
go.
if
because
JC
he
is in
hasn't seen yet.
Anaheim, I will actually die. Guys,
Oh,
I
he
JC
would
and
will
Lance.
be.
You could
He
have
has to
JC
go.
and Lance.
no, don't do this
Together,
to
they might
me.
go together.
Actually, Maggie,
Maybe I need a sign for JC and Lance rather than a Justin sign.
Yeah.
Well,
will
Like
always
actually
take a
I came
die.
spare
here,
one.
I came here for Lance and JC.
Yeah, if JC is there, you will actually die.
Oh, I would.
Oh my
Manifest.
God.
Yeah.
Manifest.
Okay. I hadn't even thought of that just because I feel like our hopes have always been, we always get our hopes up, don't we, for JC to be at shows, and then we're just like, oh, he wasn't there. So, if it
We'll
happens, it
manifest
happens.
again.
Yeah,
Exactly. And
okay.
look, here's the thing. Whether he is or he isn't, there is strong possibilities that he will be coming to the UK
Yes.
anyway, and we
Yes.
can see him here, please. Because obviously the other major news of this year was that JC released new music of his own for the first time. Let's just listen to that. JC
Even
released
saying
an
that, it's just
album.
still the weirdest thing that JC released new
It's
music.
weirdest.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
weird.
And he's been on TikTok and Instagram and all the socials, and he's been on television and radio and podcasts. And
Yes, and
honestly, he's
signings.
just signings and on Broadway and Juliet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
What
my
the
God, literally,
hell?
you forget. He did the thing with what did he perform? Was it Darren Chris, is
Oh
it?
yes, on the like
Yes.
festival thing,
Oh
musical.
The
my goodness.
Broadway festival, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just forget all these things, but ultimately, this was all about the release of Playing with Fire, his and Jimmy Harry's new musical concept album for their Frankenstein musical. And it has, like we just said, it's just blown up, right? It was only released on the 25th of October. And I mean, I think
So
we're all
good.
blown away. And obviously, it's a very different, it's not a pop album, it's not, classic JC or NSYNC, it's a musical, but it's just captured everyone, and everyone is
Mm.
just so excited and playing the hell out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it has got elements of pop, hasn't it? Like dance.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
absolutely.
Oh, for
Disco.
sure, yeah.
It's still an album you can just have on, like while you're cleaning. It's not as much. That's when I listen to my music, obviously,
Yeah.
do a lot of cleaning. But do you know what I mean? It's not one that you're like, oh, I have to be in a specific place to
No.
listen to this.
Yeah.
Like I listen to it in the car, in my headphones, while I'm at work, travel, like anytime it
Yeah.
goes, and it's always so good.
And you keep it. What I do when I listen now is like I have an imaginary musical in my head.
Yes, so do
Yeah.
I. So do
Yes.
I.
Yeah. We should do it. We should get together once and just we can all do it.
Yeah. Like I
We'll
always
do it
picture
all.
what it would
Just
look
for
like
your own
on
acting.
stage. Yeah. Like I definitely think like what would this look like on stage
Me
when
too.
they're performing it, and I think of the lighting and like yeah, everything. Oh, can't
Yeah, this
wait.
part it goes like
Yes.
this happens and then something comes out. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
going on. Yeah,
Yeah. But that's what makes it such good storytelling, to be able to
yeah,
do that with just words and songs, like for us to then picture the scenes in our head, they're
Yeah.
already halfway there.
yeah.
They're giving the artistic director an easy ride.
Yeah. I
We
can't
can
wait to see how
direct
they
it.
bring it to
Yeah,
life.
we'll direct it.
Yeah. And
We
I'm
can
really
direct.
excited to see the book that they've written to go alongside it as well,
Oh, the
because that's
comic.
going to
Yes,
be,
Yeah.
little
That should be
novel
coming out
thing,
soon. Yeah.
yeah, that would be
graphic novel. Is
fantastic to
they called?
see. Yeah,
Graphic
graphic
novel. Yeah.
novel, and they obviously have teased that it's going to come out on vinyl soon as well, because we did the
Yeah,
merch drop and they had a square poster and they were saying, that's convenient shape. So
They are
I
so
think we're all
cute with this
waiting for
whole
this.
thing, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
honestly the
they're
two of
loving
them,
it.
they're just so sweet with it.
I
Yeah,
love
Oh,
it.
their
Yeah,
bless them.
live on YouTube, wasn't that fantastic? The live the two of them
Oh
did.
Oh my
yes,
God,
it was so
yes.
good.
They are
I
so
was
sweet.
asleep, but I watched the next day.
It
It's
wasn't
probably
even that
better to
late, was
watch it
it?
the next
Or was
day
it?
because the quality is a lot better now. Because while we were watching it live, it kept
Oh, it was
jumping
really
and stopping
jumpy.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
If you watch
it
it on
did.
YouTube now, you can watch it properly.
Yeah, although
Yeah.
do you know what you miss when you watch on YouTube now? I assume anyway. But the chat box was just going
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely crazy, and they obviously reference it on the live themselves and say, "Oh my God,
You could
what
not read
what did?"
anything.
No, it
Like
just
it was
I
like
think
it was
it was like
honestly it was
4,000
crazy.
people, something
I
like
can't
that,
even
right?
remember now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was quite a few thousand by the end of it.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I
right. Not
remember at the
being a pain.
beginning.
I
What
need
was
to
that?
wrap it
Oh,
up. Let's.
oh no. Let me hang on. Wait. Let me see what else there was. The only thing we need to talk about Lance,
Oh, oh
and
shit.
then
Oh, I lost you guys.
Yeah.
it's all right. We're here. Lance, bye bye bye, and the podcast in general. Was that only other things on the list?
Lance, bye bye bye. What did Lance
Let's
do?
bye bye bye.
No, as in Lance, comma,
Lance,
bye bye
comma. Oh,
bye,
okay.
comma.
Oh,
Bye bye
Oh
bye and
yeah.
dead puff.
I think
Lens
we can skip the
book.
podcast.
Okay, fine. So, should are you right, T, if we just go into Lance and then we can end on bye bye bye?
Yeah.
Cool. So, what were we just saying about JC? Hang on, because we need to link it in. What were we just saying about him?
That
Oh,
we were
the
talking about the
live, the
live.
YouTube live.
The
Yeah,
live.
the chat was just going so busy, and it's
Yeah.
just a real sign of how excited everyone is to obviously see him and have him back. But of course, he's not the only person who has released something this year, because Lance is a has had a book published. Trick or
Yeah.
Treat on Scary Street came
So
out.
cute.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, it's the cutest little book. The illustrations are fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he's just having a whale of a time by the looks of it promoting this book.
Yeah, it's really cute. I was trying to force my kids like every night in the build up to Halloween, like, this is the story we're reading tonight.
Yeah,
He did
no,
some
it's
signings as well, didn't he, in the US for
Yeah.
He
that?
done a few, didn't he?
he was
Yeah.
like at some point #1 New York bestseller, New York
Oh,
Times
cool.
bestseller.
Yeah.
For I think children's Halloween books was the category. Yeah, no, he
Oh,
did
that's
really
cool.
well, and he said he's doing some more. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see like Christmas on Scary Street or maybe something else.
Oh
Christmas
yeah, he
on
said different
Jolly
holidays,
Street.
didn't he?
yeah, he did.
Yeah, he loves a holiday.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled for that, but also
So that's exciting.
we are still waiting for our hard back books in the UK to
Oh,
arrive. So
do
hopefully
you not
by
have
next
it yet?
Halloween.
Oh,
They
Next
haven't
Halloween.
come.
No.
No, they haven't arrived yet. I ended up buying the paperback as well because I wanted to have it before Halloween, even though
I
I have no
can't
kids and I
believe
don't like
it.
Halloween. But I bought that. But I think Gemma and I don't know if there's any of the rest of us are still waiting for our hardback ones to turn up. So
that's
I think it said
crazy.
maybe February. So
You'll have it for next Halloween for sure.
Next
Yeah,
I'll have it for next
hopefully.
Halloween.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
This
That
is
doesn't matter.
ridiculous.
Something to look forward to. So that's Lance. And then I mean, tell me if I've missed anything, but there's one more thing I can think of that was epic for us as a fandom and NSYNC this year, which was of course Bye 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 featuring in the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Yay.
Yeah.
Opening sequence.
What
Boys got to go to the premiere,
hell?
except for Justin because he was over here. But the boys got to go to the premiere and what a resurgence that song has had.
That was
Back on the
crazy.
charts again.
Yes.
It was
That
so
was
overwhelming
crazy.
at the time, wasn't it? It was so crazy to see what was happening to that song all of a sudden. Like it's
And all
really taken on a life of its own.
the new
Yeah.
generation now, like the boys even joke, oh, the Deadpool song, the Deadpool song.
Yeah,
Everybody
like,
knows this. If you didn't know before, you know now.
yeah, so many TikTok videos of kids doing the dancing, and we kind of knew something was coming, right? Because there wasn't a thing where, was it Ryan Reynolds followed all 5 guys?
Yes.
Yes.
And that was the start of like the rumor, like, oh, we think something might be happening here. And
Yeah.
obviously we knew the Deadpool movie was coming out, and
Mhm.
so that was kind of the start of the rumor, right? But we didn't know exactly how it was going to look
No.
until the film actually came out in cinemas.
But yeah, there was
Yeah.
definitely chatter around the fandom about.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's exciting, very exciting to see the boys. And I
The
don't know
song.
why they still don't believe people don't think anything's cool, you know? They still like,
And
yeah, we didn't know it was gonna be like. I was like, shut up.
They're just
Yeah.
being modest.
Shut up,
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Shut up.
Exactly. Well,
Honestly.
hopefully it showed them that they are wanted, and you know we've got 2025 obviously coming up next year. Now we're on the cusp, and
Yeah.
we've got the boys' 30th
Oh God.
anniversary, 30 years since 1995 when they got
Yeah.
together, and they better, I'm telling you, they better put something together
They
for
need to
this
do
year
something,
to
right?
celebrate it. At least put a post out or something, guys. And
That
hopefully, like you
post.
say,
We want more
I
than
don't
a
know.
post, Sam. Come on.
Well, yeah, I'd take anything. Okay, we'll take a new album, a reunion tour announcement, a Christmas
Yeah.
special, a new marionette range, a new merch line.
Yeah.
As a start, how's that?
I would love
Very
like
good.
a massive NSYNC album collection, so like a massive box set with all the albums,
Oh, like
like special
yeah.
covers, maybe like I don't know.
what do
But
you?
like
I
Some
mean,
unreleased songs.
I bet we're going to get like there's going to be a merch drop for sure for NSYNC 30. But I think we might get like a TV special.
yeah.
I mean, we're gonna get
Please.
like a live special. Like I think we're gonna get something like that.
How
Like,
do you
with
get
the
to be in the
intimate.
audience?
Yeah, exactly. How are we getting tickets to that, girls?
you're not.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
well, they can't rule out the UK
No.
fans because that would be really outrageous.
Wow.
I do you know I don't know. That's just I'm not saying this is what I'm wishing for,
Yeah.
but I think this is most likely.
Yeah.
We ain't going to get a tour this year, and I don't think we're going to get an album this year,
No.
because they need to sit down and write an album, and that's not going to just come out of nowhere. And they're not going to be starting anything until Justin is off tour, and
No.
so I think if we are going to get anything big, it's going to be like a TV special performance at the
It
most.
makes
because
sense because then it reaches
that.
everyone. Yeah.
It
Yeah, I'm
reaches
just
it
hoping
very
we get an announcement at some point, maybe at the VMAs, as to what might be the next step. Like that's what I don't feel like for the 30th they can obviously they can't do an album in a couple of months and they can't plan a tour,
Yeah,
but just to let the fans know this is what's coming
yeah.
to an extent would be nice. But
I
yeah,
think
live special would be cool.
one thing that makes me think of like them doing something like that together, apart from the album or a tour or something like that, is the fact that JC has put a 6 months time limit on his concert that he wants to do for Playing with Fire. He keeps saying within 6 months, and that is in matching Justin's timeline of finishing his tour. So
That's a clever.
see.
Oh, good intel. Or good looking at the calendar, V.
not intel, it's just thinking.
It's called using your brain.
counting on numbers.
I'm just using my brain of why does it have to be within 6 months, and it just
Yeah.
matches Justin's timeline.
Yeah.
And the others, they haven't really got anything planned past the summer, have they? I don't. These are the only two people who know they have to do something. And the fact that JC says 6 months.
Yeah, and the latest Joey had an interview, didn't he, with TMZ, like this week or last week, and in there he did say in the new year, like beginning of the new year's, that where they really, or maybe over the holidays, was the time where they were going to finally, he said, obviously they've said his voice, but kind of actually decide on something, whether what at least the next step, hopefully. So fingers crossed we get something in the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did say the break between Justin's, because he finished a little bit of the
Yeah,
tour.
because Justin is finishing on the 13th.
So they say they're going to use
his break on the 13th.
Yeah.
So,
so they're going to use the break to all get together and have the talk.
Yeah,
The talk.
good. The talk of many talks.
God.
Yeah. Well, whatever happens, we will be here.
Yeah.
We will
We
stick
sure
together
will.
and we will support each other through it, the highs and the lows, come what may, individual and together. And we hope that you listening at home will be joining us as well, because we've had such a blast this last year creating these shows for you. Want to thank you so much for listening. A big thank you to our special guests for coming on and joining us as well as our fellow fans from around the world. So thank you for that. But yeah, look, stay tuned. There's so much more to come. We've got a cracking 2025 planned for this show. So regardless of what the boys do, there's going to be a load going on. So make sure you're following us on our socials, particularly Instagram at NSYNC_UK Space Cowboys, so that you don't miss any upcoming episodes. And of course, you can subscribe as well on your streaming platform so that you get notified as well. But that's it. Otherwise, we want to wish you all a very happy new year. And we will see you in 2025 for more fun.
Happy New
New
Year!
Year! Bye, bye, bye.
Bye
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye bye. Thanks for tuning in to the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys podcast. If you loved this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you'll never miss a moment of the action. And did you know you can also stream every episode the second it drops on your favourite music or podcast platform? It's that easy to stay in sync with us. And while you're at it, check out our Instagram page for all the latest NSYNC news, reaction, and announcements of upcoming episodes. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.